This is an English Harbour 29. It's a really interesting boat. In fact, there are two of them here, as you can see. This one is actually the demonstrator of TBS boats up here in Bray. So they have invited me up to have a little look over it. Now, these are British built. In fact, there are two versions. There's an English Harbour 27 and an English Harbour 29. The visual difference is this bathing platform on the 29. 27 just has a flat transom, although you can have an optional bathing platform. But the big difference is the 27 is designed more for inland use, has a much smaller engine and a hull designed for lower speeds. This one has a bigger engine, and we'll talk about that when we go on board, and designed to go a bit more offshore. So we'll have a wander around the outside first of all. It's a very interesting looking boat, and in actual fact this was designed by a chap who used to be the chief designer for Fairline and then left to set up his own company, which was English Harbour Yachts. So it's quite an intriguing boat to have a look at, in particular the details. So I think we'll have a look at the exterior first of all, and those details start straight away. The canopy arch, for example, I love the way they finished this. Oh, you can see that. That's all nicely embossed with English Harbour 29 offshore. And then if we go on board, it's actually got decently wide side decks for a 29-foot boat. And look at how they've bulwarked these side decks as well. And then again, you're detailing these lovely cleats that they've put on it. The little silver fellows underneath, those are deck lights, so that's all nicely lit. The anchor is sat on a cradle just down underneath the front there. It's just really nicely done. You can have sunbathing cushions up here on the front, the 3 wipers across there as well. And of course the canopy all comes off, so you can have it as an open boat, or you can have the canopy up as we've got it now. Let's have a wander around and look inside. A lot of thought has gone into this boat. So this is the cockpit. Now what's interesting is, normally on a boat like this you have a transom door, so you can walk from the bathing platform straight through. This one you don't. What they've done is kept the side deck nice and low, so it's really easy to just step on and in, and it means you don't lose any of the seating to the transom door. You've got seating all the way around, so it's a very social area. And this table of course will unfold as well. And in fact you can also make that into a sunbed by dropping the table down. There's a couple of other interesting things in here. For example, under this seat, if we lift it forward, you've got a sink here, and you've also got a fridge just down here. So that's for your catering in the cockpit. That's quite neat. And then obviously you've got your passenger seat and the helm over on this side. And then look at details like the way they put this wood across here with English Harbour Yachts embossed on it. I think it's really nice. The stainless steel windscreen as well. It's just a really feel good sort of boat, really. Let's go and have a look inside. Now in here, what they've gone for is very much kind of like a beach house vibe. It's all very light. You've got this nice louvering on things like the wardrobe just here, decent sized windows, big hatches overhead, so it's a really light area space. It's also very wide. It's a very beamy boat for a 29-footer, and great headroom as well. Just here I'm over 6 foot, and as you can see, stacks of headroom. It does drop as you go forward, as you'd expect, but of course that's where you're sat around the table. So that, as I mentioned, is a little wardrobe, and you've got shelves above it. That little fella is a digital monitoring system, so it lets you know things like low battery, lets you know that the main supply is on, and so forth. And then above it, that's the Fusion stereo system. In fact, you can see they've put the speakers for that up in here rather neatly. And then this will convert to a double bed. And again, another clever touch is the fact that you obviously need infill cushions to do on that table, so when it drops you make it a bed. And what they've done is they've snuck them under the floor here. So that is the cushions that drop on the bed rather neatly. I love the way they've done this rail around here as well and put these on it. I think that's really nice. Colour's great. And then you've got little areas like this for bottles and plates and whatever else you want to put in there. I think that's very nice indeed. What else have we got? We've got the galley over on this side. There's a sink, of course, underneath here. It's gas cooking on this one, so you've got the oven underneath here. And then underneath this is gas hob, and that acts as a splashback then. And this is the fridge. like so. And then you've got things like the cutlery drawer, and everything's all really nice and thick and chunky. It all feels really solid. Very nicely put together boat. Let's drop that back down. It's even a little extractor fan underneath there. You don't often see that on a boat of this size. Opposite here then is the heads, and they've actually managed to get in here a door so you can bring this across, and you've got a separate shower compartment when you're using that as a shower, so you've got somewhere to step out into. That's a good feature. All nice, contemporary, all very lovely. And then finally there's a cabin back here, and that has 2 single beds in it. Now in fact you can make this into a double, and all you do is you just pull out that side. It extends across, the mattress comes out with it, and that makes a double if you want it. Again, stacks of headroom as you come in. Obviously it does drop as you go back down underneath the cockpit as you'd expect, but that's a pretty nice cabin. There is, again, storage in places like this. And again, it's all very well lit because there's a big translucent skylight up above. There's a curtain that pulls across it as well. Got an opening window in here and so forth. I think that's rather lovely. A couple more details to show you are bins are hidden down underneath there. And you can also see the switch panel for this boat is in here. So that is all of your ship's systems and your 240 volt systems as well over on the right. Let's go and talk about engines, or engine I should say. It's a single engine in this one, of course. And to see that, there is a button on the dash. What we do need to do first of all is just move these couple of cushions out of the way. Like so, and then we can power up. Now it's a Volvo Penta in here, it's a stern drive unit, and you can see just how big this engine room is. We can actually get right down into here. Again, for the size of the boat, is brilliant. There we go. That is a Volvo Penta D3 220. It's giving the boat probably about 22 knots flat out. It's a semi-displacement hull rather than the planing hull, and that means that you can cruise at pretty much any speed you choose. So anything up to about sort of 17, 18 knots. It's very comfortable. All very nicely fitted out in here. You can see all the nice plumbing and so on. These are for the drains, so they will go into a single manifold and out. You've got battery management systems in here as well. And then if we look around on the other side, you can see things like the tanks. That's the hot water tank over there. That's the heating system. It's a diesel fired heating system on this one, so that runs off of the diesel tank, and it's all illuminated in here as well. Bilge pump down in the centre. Again, it's just a very nicely detailed boat. All that silver stuff is the sound deadening. Let's come back out of here. And I'll motor that one back down. And in fact, just while I've got those cushions up, I'll show you this is all storage in here. So that is the shore power cable in that one, for example. And then more storage in on the other side. Let's drop those back into place. And then the other thing we can find in here is things like the battery isolator switches are in here, the fuel isolator, there's a fire system that's also switched from in there. And there's even, this is quite cunning, if I move that out of the way, that is a locker to drop your fenders into. So that's it. That is the English Harbour 27. Lovely little boat. Hope you enjoyed that tour, and we'll look forward to catching you on another one as ever very soon. Take care. Bye bye.